Yasser was driving his car on an isolated mountain road in pitch darkness, having lost his way while returning from a business trip. His GPS had stopped working, and his phone had run out of battery. As raindrops fell on the windshield, Yasser spotted a faded sign pointing to a village 5 kilometers away. "Finally!" he sighed with relief. "I'll find a place to stay until morning." As he approached the village, dilapidated stone houses began to appear on both sides of the road. The place seemed abandoned, but a faint light was glowing from one distant window. Yasser stopped in front of that house and knocked on the door. An elderly woman slowly opened the door and stared at him with sunken eyes. "Welcome to the Village of Shadows," she said in a hoarse voice. "We haven't seen strangers here since the incident." "What incident?" Yasser asked curiously. "Come in first," the old woman replied. "The night is not safe outside." Yasser felt uneasy, but entered the house to escape the rain. The place smelled strange, and faded old photographs of sad-looking people hung on the walls. 50 years ago, the old woman began her tale as she handed him a cup of tea. "Our village was completely burned down in a single night. No one survived, except me." Yasser swallowed hard. "But I saw houses and lights." A faint laugh from the old woman interrupted him. "What you saw are merely ghosts of the past. Every night, the village returns as it was before the fire." Suddenly, Yasser heard soft knocking on the windows and strange sounds coming from outside. He looked out the window to see pale figures standing in the darkness, staring toward the house with empty eyes. "They've come to welcome you," the old woman whispered, "and they won't let you leave. We always need a new guest to stay with us." Yasser tried to escape, but the door froze in place. At that moment, he realized he would never leave the ghost village again. Laqad Arsalat Yasser tried to open the door repeatedly, but it was like solid rock. He turned toward the old woman only to find she had disappeared, and the lights in the house began to dim gradually. "I need to get out of here," he whispered to himself as he moved toward the window. He tried to open it, but it was tightly sealed. Looking through it, he saw the ghosts moving closer to the house, step by step, their eyes glowing in the darkness. Suddenly, Yasser spotted an old book on a table in the corner of the room. He was drawn to it by some mysterious instinct and opened it to find pages containing words in a strange language and symbols. Between its pages, he found a folded paper, and when he opened it, he read, "Whoever reads these words will be granted one chance to escape. Place a drop of your blood on the eastern windowsill before the moon is full." Yasser looked through the window to find the moon approaching the middle of the sky. Time was running out. He took a pin that was attached to an old curtain, pricked his finger, then ran to the eastern window and placed a drop of his blood on its sill. The moment the blood touched the wooden window frame, he heard muffled screams from outside. The walls of the house trembled, and everything around him shook. Yasser closed his eyes from the intensity of the sudden light that flooded the place. When he opened his eyes, he found himself sitting in his car on the side of the highway, with the sun rising on the horizon. Morning had come, and the events of the previous night seemed like a distant dream. As he prepared to resume his journey, he spotted in the rearview mirror a faint shadow of an old woman standing on the road. He quickly turned his head, but the road was empty. Yasser returned home, but he couldn't forget what had happened. And every night, he wakes up to the sound of faint knocks on his bedroom window, and he could swear he sees pale faces watching him from afar. Perhaps he escaped from the village, but the ghosts of the village never left him.